NASA just announced the clearest signs of ancient life we have ever found on Mars. After a year of peer review, scientists cannot find another explanation for what they discovered in a 3.5 billion year old rock. But here's what makes this different from every other Mars discovery we've ever had. This is not speculation. This is not a maybe. After rigorous scientific scrutiny published in Nature Journal, NASA's acting administrator Sean Duffy stated they cannot find another explanation for these findings. As always, I'm here to report the information without bias, and you can decide what to believe. You can find the sources in my detailed articles at ufonews.co, along with in the description box below. Hey ufologers, I'm Cristina Gomez, and welcome to this episode of News Updates.
What's exciting is, in the past, what we thought it was, our peer reviewers would say it was not. Our peer reviewers are saying, well, this actually could be what NASA thinks it is, and that's why this is so exciting, and that's why we want to have this press conference to share it with the world, to share it with you. And also, we are ultra transparent.
The Perseverance rover discovered something extraordinary in Jezero Crater last July, a leopard-spotted rock nicknamed Cheyava Falls, containing patterns that scientists had never seen before on Mars. The rock measures 3.2 feet by 2 feet and was found in an ancient riverbed that once carried water into a lake over 3.5 billion years ago.
NASA's Perseverance rover found a leopard-spotted rock at Mars. And scientists immediately knew. It was interesting, we hadn't seen anything like that before on Mars. And we talked about it last summer. The moment we found it, we put out the images for everybody to see and everybody to share in the joy of NASA science. Today, we're really here celebrating that incredible hard work of the science team as they literally tried to prove it wasn't interesting. Maybe it's just something else. Maybe it's not, the key result that we've been waiting for. And so they've done the analysis on these leopard spots, and we think they are potentially made by some sort of ancient life.
What makes this discovery significant? Well, the rock contains small black spots named poppy seeds and larger ring-shaped features called leopard spots. On Earth, these patterns only form under two conditions, either through biological processes involving microbes or through high-temperature chemical reactions above 120 degrees Celsius. But here is the key. Mars rocks showing these patterns show no evidence of ever being heated to those temperatures. No large crystals formed from melting and then re-solidifying. This leaves biological processes as the most likely explanation. Dr. Joel Horowitz from Stony Brook University led the research team that analyzed this sample, and their findings, published in Nature Journal, reveal a contribution of chemical compounds that could have provided an energy source for ancient microbial life.
And one of the things we wanted to ask ourselves was, is it possible that organic matter might have played some role in the generation of these textural features? So we turned to our organic chemical detector, the Sherlock instrument, and trained it on this rock at the location of those two little black boxes that you see on the surface of the rock. And I'll switch to our next view graph. The data that we got back from the Sherlock instrument was fantastic. What you can see here is a set of spectra that are called Raman spectra. And there's a lot of information on these graphs, but the key thing to take note of is the fact that what we see in these spectra is something called a G-band, and that's pointed out on the image. The G-band for us is a smoking gun indicator for the presence of organic matter in this mud.
The rock contains organic carbon compounds, the building blocks for life. The leopard spots specifically contain iron and phosphate minerals. According to research published in the SETI Institute studies, when these minerals form at low temperatures on Earth, microorganisms typically drive the chemical reactions. Dr. Janice Bishop from the SETI Institute, who has conducted experiments recreating Mars conditions, noted that similar reduced mineral forms can be created in the presence of organic compounds at low temperatures, exactly matching what Perseverance found. And this discovery suggests Mars may have been habitable for longer than previously thought. The rocks at Bright Angel are some of the youngest sedimentary formations that the Perseverance rover has investigated, yet they show the strongest potential biosignatures. What does this mean for our understanding of life in the universe? If confirmed, this would demonstrate that two different planets, Earth and Mars, hosted similar microbial metabolisms at approximately the same time, about 3.5 billion years ago. But the question you might be asking is, why did NASA wait over a year to announce their findings? Well, they say the answer lies in the rigorous scientific process that separates legitimate discoveries from speculation.
The peer review process is a really important component of being able to present these results here to you today.
And Bill, that's part of the process, right? So again, we find the sample. We can have a lot of commentary that agrees with what NASA has found. Some may disagree, but to interrogate the data, as Joel just mentioned, and to have it peer-reviewed.
The research underwent extensive peer review by independent scientists who scrutinized every aspect of the findings, and they evaluated alternative explanations, tested hypotheses, and validated the methodology. The publication in Nature Journal represents one of the most prestigious validations in scientific publishing. Dr. Kate Stack Morgan from JPL emphasized that astrobiological claims require extraordinary evidence, and the peer review process ensured the rigor and validity of these results before making them available to the broader scientific community. The sample, called Sapphire Canyon, remains sealed in a tube on Mars. And while these findings are compelling, definitive proof requires bringing the samples back to Earth for analysis and sophisticated laboratory instruments unavailable on Mars.
So what we need to do from here is to continue to do additional research in laboratory settings here on Earth, and ultimately bring the sample that we collected from this rock back home to Earth, so that we can make the final determination for what process actually gave rise to these fantastic textures.
NASA's Mars sample return mission faces budget constraints and timeline challenges. Acting Administrator Sean Duffy indicates they are exploring faster, more cost-effective methods to retrieve samples. And the Trump administration's budget initially proposed canceling the mission, but Congress moved to reinstate funding. This discovery builds on decades of Mars exploration. Previous claims of Martian life, including the ALH 84001 meteorite controversy in the 1990s and Viking mission data, ultimately had alternative explanations. And what sets this discovery apart is the comprehensive evidence, organic compounds, specific mineral formations, and geological context, all pointing towards biological processes. As noted in National Geographic's coverage, this is the first time that chemical processes consistent with, though not definitive proof of, a biological origin have been observed on Mars. The next chapter in this story depends on successfully returning samples to Earth for detailed analysis for those findings to be made public. What do you think this discovery means for the future of space exploration and our search for life beyond Earth? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm Cristina Gomez, and that is it for today. I will see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST for another news update. Be safe, and remember, keep your eyes on the skies. If you enjoyed today's show, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit the notification bell as I do daily UFO news and updates. Fresh UAP stories, government disclosures, and breaking developments land here every single day.